How many viewers do you guys have? Wow, what a bunch of hooligans.
Welcome to podcast. All right. Welcome to podcast. You got that's
Look,
it. Okay.
all right,
I'm your host.
So here's the thing.
I'm your host, Madison, joined by my co-host.
I did it 2 weeks in a row. I did the exact same mistake that I did last time, where I tried to play the cleavage clip after I'd tabbed the music down.
Right.
So you'd think I'd learn the first time.
Yeah, but you didn't.
But I did not.
Okay.
But I did not.
Well, that is Michael.
Yes,
for you,
Michael,
the co-host.
Yes.
And then I'm John.
Yes, also John.
Yes. Well, I walk in today. By the way, it has been blistering hot outside in Alabama. It has been over, I think, 95 degrees the last
Feels like
days.
it's been over 100.
I'm sure. I think it has peaked over 100 a couple of times. I know.
Humidity's
I got
rough.
in the car the other day, and it was showing 99 on the thermometer. Ooh, man.
I did yard work yesterday. I thought I was going to die.
It
was rough.
Yeah. I would. I mean, you don't want to wait till it's like nighttime for that.
No, I had other stuff to do. I was trying to get done early. I mean, if you get it done early, it's better than waiting until like afternoon. I got it done in the morning.
Well, it was a Saturday. And then, we also haven't even had a chance to really talk to each other. I think we ran into each other at the gym once, but it's been, a week and a half now since our last recording.
Yeah.
Because you had to go out of town last week.
Out of
or
state.
last weekend.
Yep.
Out of state, yeah. You had a gig. A singing gig.
That was good.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. We were doing a wedding. We were the wedding singers, my mom and I, for my mom's preacher's granddaughter. So she's getting married, and she requested us, and we did it at a church that does not allow instruments in the building. So we had to do everything a cappella, no recordings of instruments or instruments in general. So everything was a cappella.
So just 100% like that, even for a wedding, they're not going to allow it.
No, absolutely zero occasion, zero reason that an instrument can be allowed in that church building.
That is really interesting. I mean, I know you and I both grew up Church of Christ.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things is, there's no instruments within worship.
But it depends upon the denomination itself says, no instruments in the worship, but there's still more relaxed, liberal churches of Christ that do allow instruments now. But then you get the more conservative ones like this one that not only not during an actual service, but in no way, shape, or form for any reason could there be an instrument in that building.
And no speakers where you could plug something up. Like, how do you...
They did have speakers, but they didn't have the mics working. So we just had to do it a cappella with no mics.
How does that look when the bride walks in and she's walking down the aisle?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you got to have the walk-in music, right?
We did. We had 4 different songs. One song for the family coming in, a second song for the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, and the ring bearer and the flower girl, then a separate song for the bride, and then a walkout song.
All a cappella.
All a cappella. I can tell you what they were, too. It was Nothing New I Do. I don't remember who the artist is for the family. Then it was You Are the Reason by Callum Scott and Leona Lewis for the groomsmen and the bridesmaid, the wedding party. The Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis was the bride's walkout, the bride coming down the aisle. And then the walkout song was Speechless by Dan and Shay that I had to sing through twice because it took so long for everybody to get out.
That is really...
Speechless is a tough a cappella song.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's okay because if you messed it up the first time, you got to sing it again.
Yeah, I got a second shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's that's an interesting one. Was that one recorded? Like, did you guys...
everything was live.
Right. I just mean to say, did the ceremony get recorded?
Yeah. Dad was there as the videographer.
Oh, okay.
So he's got it.
Okay.
Go back and watch it if you want. We can put it on here.
Well, all in all, good ceremony.
Yeah, everything went well. I mean, the rehearsal dinner was kind of chaotic, or rehearsal, and the dinner was fine, but the dinner was great. They had some sort of local Italian restaurant. Great food. The rehearsal itself kind of chaotic. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like too many people trying to run the show. Not enough people taking orders. Too many people giving orders.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michael's insensitive comment aside, sounds like it was really nice.
Hold on. How can I make it more insensitive?
No. Let's make it less. So the answer is, or what you were looking for is, too many cooks in the kitchen. That was the metaphor you were looking for.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay. We all learn. Listen, it's in the South.
What's wrong with chiefs and Indians though? Those are just things. Those aren't nobody like. That's not an insensitive term.
Well, so there's the debate, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Christopher Columbus that assigned the name Indian to
We're supposed to say Native Americans.
to Native Americans, but it wasn't because he thought that they'd landed in India. It was because he based it off of the term Indios, which means people of God. So, but I think you just can't. You just got to be careful, right, with what you say now, because you might trigger some folks.
Hopefully, we're getting it close to a point of reverting back away from the ultra PC, and we get to like more of a let it all hang loose style of dialect and vocabulary usage.
Yeah,
it's about time. It's time to cycle back to that. I think the Gen Alphas are going to help out with that.
Well, you know what I think is really funny is like when we were growing up, cuss words, right?
Yeah,
You can't say cuss words. They were all very just like very off limits. Okay?
I think it just depends upon your family and where you grew up too.
I think for the most part, you couldn't say it on TV. You couldn't say like it's just like the culture. And nowadays, it's like those words are more okay, but then it's like shifted into the other words.
Yeah.
And I think just like, when our parents weren't looking, we were just, dropping F-bombs and stuff like on Xbox.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the next generation is probably just when their parents aren't around, they're just like, they're saying all the words that we definitely can't say on YouTube right now.
Yeah. Speaking of my parents, and particularly my mom, and I don't think mom and dad really watched this. They said they were going to at first, and I think they either got bored or offended or just, I'm not sure, disappointed in me. Who knows what the reasoning behind it. But I don't think they really kept up with it. But
you've got a kid now, so you got to pass on so much.
Yeah. That's they're more worried about that anyway. They're more worried about Chief. Hey, I can say that Chief. I can say that version, Little Chief.
Right, but that's based off of Master Chief.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They don't really watch it, but had a great time with them going to the wedding, and I love my parents, but my mom had a couple of great moments that made me laugh really hard, either externally or internally.
The classic silent laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And speaking of Church of Christ, one of them was related to that. So we're at a Church of Christ, obviously, and when we're after the wedding, we're sitting around waiting for pictures to be taken.
Okay.
With the wedding party, and we're just sitting near the back of the sanctuary, and a elderly lady comes up to the three of us and specifically asked my mom, says, "Are you guys with the church?" And my mom says, "Yes, we are members of the church." And she says, "Do you know where the napkins, the silverware are?"
Nice.
And my mom goes, No. We're not members of this church. We're just members of the church." And let me explain to you the look of confusion on this elderly lady's face. If I could try to replicate it, I would, but I don't think I'm possible. Like, I'm not capable of it. She was so utterly confused by the statement, "We're not members of this church. We're just members of the church." So she just kind of stared at my mom and then walked away. And that's a thing that happens in the denomination Church of Christ. Is you instead of saying you're members of the Church of Christ, you say you're members of the church.
Right.
Which causes confusion to some people that aren't used to that, like it did last weekend. It was I wasn't. I mean, I'm used to people saying that from our family, but like she was clearly not used to that, and she was very, very, very confused.
Poor lady.
She didn't know what to do next.
She just wanted to wipe her nose.
She just wanted a fork to eat her cake with. The other great moment was after that, we were sitting there eating they had a reception potluck. And so we're sitting with some of the family of the bride.
What state was this in?
This was in Missouri.
So, yeah, we might circle back, and I want to compare Alabama potlucks with Missouri potlucks.
Okay, yeah, we can. But we're eating potluck, and my mom's introducing herself and us to some of the people that are part of the extended family. And she points me out, and she says, "This is my son, Michael." And then the next thing she said made both Dad and I just kind of almost like collapse in our seats. She said, "When he grows up, he wants to be a sports broadcaster." And I looked at her and I said, "Mom, I'm 33 years old, and I am a sports broadcaster."
She's so... She doesn't get... I'm guessing she just doesn't get out to, like, social events a lot.
No, I mean,
just like...
your kid will always be your kid.
Right.
And it's just hard to shake that, and it's especially hard for her to shake that. The idea that I'm not a kid anymore. When he grows up over here, this little one over here, when he grows up, he wants to be a sports broadcaster.
I feel like this was just like her rehearsed thing that she used to say when she was out in like public, and she just hasn't gone out to a whole lot of like places.
So when Dad and I corrected her, she goes, "Oh, you know what I mean," and we're like, "No, no, we don't. What do you mean?"
Your dad's look must have been gold.
Oh, he's just laughing. He was just laughing the whole time.
Mom, I am 33 years old, and I am a sports broadcaster.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That is really funny. That's a banger of a story right there, dude. Yeah. And you got anything else?
That's it related to
highlights?
that's I mean, there were probably some other like somewhat funny things, but those are the two that stuck out to me. Good moments, funny moments to me.
Okay. Was that
on the trip at least? I got another one, but it's not trip to Missouri related.
Okay. Well, let's We'll space them out.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the potluck.
Yeah, okay.
Missouri potluck versus Alabama potluck, go.
Well, so I don't know really how many people there were local to Missouri versus how many people there were traveling from out of state as well. There's a decent amount of people I know were from Alabama.
So I knew this family growing as this bride was growing up. I knew them pretty well. Originally from Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and then moved down to Alabama. How did we get
bounced around a little bit?
How did we get out to Missouri?
They have family there located near there as well. Well, they're kind of spread out all over.
Okay.
Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri, I think Texas for a period of time.
Okay.
So it just, they kind of been travelers.
Okay. So you think a lot of people that came in were...
well, I'd say there was a decent amount that were just local to Missouri that were part of the church that she'd established herself at. In terms of food, I mean, it was all good. I can't think of like a Missouri unique dish.
No. Okay. So just standard white people.
I mean, they still say y'all, and they're Southern.
Oh no, yeah. It's still Missouri. Missouri is.
It was more Midwestern accented y'alls, but it was still y'alls. I mean, there's some sort of strange Midwest South hybrid.
When I think Missouri, I think like Huckleberry Finn, like Tom Sawyer style folks. I mean, it's definitely still the South.
Yeah.
Maybe more monster trucks, less NASCAR.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, I mean, we are in a NASCAR hub.
Right.
So,
Okay.
unfortunately,
Well,
people around here think they're in a NASCAR race when they're driving down the highway.
so I was talking with the boys the other day, or two of the boys, specifically Teach and Bone. Bone just made a pretty big announcement.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. He's having a kid.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Welcome to the club.
yeah. It's a pretty big one. It's just about everybody that's ever been born. Their parents were in it.
Yep.
But we got to talking about a more in-depth kind of conversation that I thought might be worth bringing up on the podcast. I do need to make a quick Google search to confirm something that Teach said.
Was he spitting facts, or you got to fact check him? I don't like where this Google search is going. Oh, I think I know. I might actually know what you're. Yeah, there's three things. There's three. Oh, I don't know about the last part. I've heard that there's three tales that a child will do, and if they do all three of them, then they're going to grow up to be what you Google search. Which you Google,
Got it.
You Google search a serial unaliver.
That's correct. Yes. The people that are known for their famous names.
Like you'll get a documentary made about you.
Yeah, like Ted Bundy and other folks. But essentially, the idea is this. Okay, so we're just spitting ideas the other day, and we were thinking, what could have been, what's the boomers' problem? That's what we came up with, right? I now have had this theory for a while, but then I kind of shared it, and then I found out this extra piece of supporting evidence. But like, what makes boomers boomers? What is their short term, like, in the moment, can't really think past more than 5 years, a little bit of a lack of empathy for the most part, as is the classic boomer like stereotype, right? And I've always thought leaded gasoline. They started adding leaded gasoline when boomers were in their most intense brain developing years of their lives. And then by the time that millennials came around, that was gone. And so I don't know if you've ever been talking with a boomer, and it just feels like there's something missing. Like something just didn't develop.
I've talked with people from all generations where I've had that feeling.
Yeah, but it seems to be like the same thing missing from boomers sometimes.
You're saying this is not something that you can find in just one boomer, but every boomer.
Well, to some degree
has this.
To some degree,
the majority.
Yes. There just seems to be this, like, they can't think outside. It's like it's this layer that just, it's like something that just surrounds them inside of their own personal bubble of life, and they can't reach outside of it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So when you say they can't reach out of their own personal bubble, to what extent?
Like, it seems they're more receptive to what the news is telling them about what's going on in the world. They don't want to do their own research.
They grew up on the 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. news is going to tell you what's going on locally, statewide, and nationwide, and they have not evolved to the way of the internet.
Evolved is a strong word, but I think it's more of, and then they have no desire to do any research on that on their own. So, and I somewhat think that comes from like
there's a layer of trust. I think that they unfortunately say, hey, whatever the news tells me is true. It's I don't need to fact check it. You know, they're not going to lie to me. Those are trustworthy people. They look good. I mean, think about that. They weren't exactly the voters at the time, but they were being born at the time where JFK won because he was the most presentable.
Yeah.
I mean, we got into that era when the TV came around and you put color with it that everybody said, instead of being the smartest, just look and sound the smartest. And that's what'll get you ahead.
Yeah. And then,
and the news took that and ran with it.
In addition, we also have the stereotypical boomer. It's like they're like from the greatest generation, right? The generation before the boomers.
Yeah.
You know, they would go off to, I mean, they literally going off to war at like in their late teens or early 20s, like, and putting in everything that like basically sacrificing part of their humanity to give to their kids. And then the entitlement that we see from boomers today of like, nope, this is mine. Like, good luck. Quit eating avocado toast. Quit buying Starbucks. That's why you can't get ahead type of deal. When and then we see the housing the way it is, and then the way that boomers have voted to in favor of wealth preservation and not and restricting access to for new families and younger generations, millennials and Zoomers, to be able to get there to the similar point in life that the boomers just completely took for granted, right? So that part in particular is what stuck out to me, is boomers seem to be more selfish than other generations. And then one of the boys brought up to me, well, did you know that there is a direct correlation from the time that, and all this came back, and I thought this might have something to do with lead, like leaded gasoline and lead being prevalent in like more everyday products. And evidently there is a direct correlation between like serial unalivers,
yeah,
and prevalent use of leaded gasoline, and that the correlation has sharply declined ever since we got rid of leaded gasoline. And so my thought on that is, what is one thing that serial unalivers, like what's the one thing that's missing? I mean, they kind of get somebody to that point. I would say empathy.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to be that and have empathy. I mean, you gotta be one of the, what is it, sociopath, psychopath. Gotta have that clear lack of empathy in order to be able to strive for that and achieve it in the first place.
Yeah. So my thought is that the reason boomers are boomers is because they were poisoned throughout their whole lives. I mean, let's think about this. We're growing up. I'm in the backseat of my car with my dad. It's the 1970s. We don't have air conditioning. We don't have rules on emissions. It's as hot as it is outside today. What are we doing? We don't have air conditioning.
Riding around outside, probably.
Yeah, we're riding. You're rolling the windows down.
Yeah.
You're taking in all the lead fumes from the car in front of you.
Yeah.
Complete exposure over the course of over the course of like an entire generation. And what does that do on a developing brain? Well, for one, it's definitely been shown to decrease IQ levels, but not by much, by a couple of points.
No.
But I wonder if there's anything else there. There could be some. This is just a theory that I've been working on. You know, been cooking up.
Yeah.
That could explain why boomers are so boomer.
I was just reading a couple of infamous serial unalivers growing up near metal smelting facilities.
Oh, that's interesting.
So,
yeah. we don't think about. I mean, honestly, what was the last time? I mean, I just don't recall a time anytime recently where there's like.
Well, I think there's been a shift. So the way a criminal person that that psychopath would go about things back then was more methodical, and they would try to target a single individual most of the time, and then over a period of time figure out the best way to do it and dispose of the evidence without getting caught. Now, in today's era, you have, for one, social media is huge, so it's like, get my attention now. Do something big and flashy now. So instead of I'm going to lay in the shadows and I'm going to do this and make sure nobody sees it, it's how can I get as much clout as possible, even if this is my last clout. Meanwhile, the other thing is the attacking people in a mass casualty incident is much more glorified in this day and age than the serial unaliver. It's through all these online forums and stuff, people actually are almost like cult hero worshiping these mass shooters instead of serial unalivers. I can't. I want to say the real word.
I know it's
so
tough.
bad.
It's tough. Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't thought about. It just seems like it does. But is that the same kind of person? Do you think? Because
I think they're both psychopathic with lacking empathy. I don't think you can do either one of those things if you're not.
What I find, I mean, typically what you see with the, the folks that are kind of, we ought to honestly come up with, let's call it type A is the serial unalivers, and type B, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows what we're talking about, is this new wave of bad people, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if type Bs have the attention span.
Well, what you find from type what they
to pull off a type A crime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What you used to find with type A's was that they were like actually really charming individuals. Like they understood more about human psychology, and that they would like lure their victims.
Oh, it was methodical. It was, this wasn't a everybody hates me. I'm in a mood and I'm going to go get revenge on everybody. It was like they necessarily didn't even have any issue with whoever they targeted. It was simply they got enjoyment out of the thrill of what they were doing, and the person essentially was just an animal that they were attacking for sport.
Right. They didn't see anything wrong with it's just like, this is just, I don't know. I can't put myself in their shoes. But the type B, though, they tend to be more like social outcasts.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like they couldn't charm anything.
Typically not. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't have extensive knowledge of really shooters or type A or type B, but it would appear to be that type Bs are more often like the loners, the ones that don't fit in anywhere, and a type A could make themselves fit in anywhere.
Right.
They wanted to.
Right. So it's I don't know if those are the same kind of people,
but they both have the core lack of empathy. I don't think either one. But I wonder in this day and age if type A's aren't more drawn to doing type B stuff, whether it's not at the same level. Like, let's bring up a similar incident that happened recently, the Charlie Kirk shooting. I feel like that guy might have been more of a type A committing a type B type of instance. Because
I don't think so. I mean, from what I could tell, he was this very social outcast. Based off of what the news has reported and independent news sources have reported, he was not a very sociable person.
Well, he
really thought that he was, doing the world a better place.
he had gotten, based on what I saw, he had gotten mixed up with one wrong person in particular. But before that, he was considered just, like in school, it was like he's just a normal guy, likes going hunting and fishing, and didn't really no real issues with him. Of course, I stopped following his case a long time ago.
Right.
But it is interesting how the shift has been from less of the type A more to the type Bs, and it may just be difference of psychopathic tendencies. They're not all the same, and everybody's got different issues, but you definitely hear and see more of type B than type A in this day and age. And then back in the boomer era, there was more of type A.
Yeah. I mean, and then you had some type Bs back then, right?
Yeah, I mean, you had like there's a really bad one in the 60s at the University of Texas.
I was thinking more like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you public assassinations,
right.
That may fall, and that's like the Charlie Kirk one, that may fall into a third category,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a type A is going for, multiple victims over whatever period span they're able to get away with it. The type A is all about the thrill of the kill while trying to not get caught. I don't think a public assassination person necessarily is worried about getting caught.
I think the type A seems like type A does it for themselves for fun. Type B does it for clout, and type C does it because they truly
want to get rid of the person.
They think they're taking like a utilitarian approach.
Yeah.
Which is just I don't know. It's I mean, we're not trying to turn it to a true crime podcast here,
Yeah.
but they're it's I don't know. It's a weird kind of messed up mindset.
I still think,
but I do think it's weird that we don't see too many type A's anymore.
they're just doing a good job. You're not catching them. I still think this wouldn't solve everything by any means, but I think that if you get arrested for a felony and you are spending more than a year in jail for whatever crime you committed, you lose your government name.
You lose your government
name.
The
reason is with a lot of crimes that are stronger, there becomes this, whether it be in the media, whether it be about how history will view you, whether you get notoriety and respect amongst other criminals, it becomes this sense of pride within the judicial system, the people that are incarcerated, of like, what you did. Now, there are a couple, I guess you could look at it as good instances where, say, a sexual predator typically comes to justice in prison, and that might unfortunately get changed if people don't have names, people don't have records. You're just a number in the system, and it's not open information who did what. But I think the positives would outweigh the negatives where, somebody commits a crime and they're like, hey, I'm the one that did this, and they start getting weird respect from people that want to live up to that standard, unfortunately.
I don't know if I understand your argument here. So you're saying that people that commit like large felonies, I mean,
they're still going to jail, they're still getting sentenced, but once they're in jail,
what about when they get out?
If they serve their time and they get out, then they get their name back.
Okay. So what does this do, right?
Part of it is
you're going to have people that have committed these felonies, and you're going to have things like Amber Alerts go out and be like, we need to find this person. Like that they're going to, like, their name will be out there before they're committed, like they've been convicted.
No, once they're in jail.
Okay. That doesn't change who they were before they went into jail, though.
Yeah, I mean, before they go to jail, they're still going to have their name.
Right. But why would people not just call them that?
They won't know in jail. I mean, unless
so you're worried about the people in jail like dapping them up,
but
like
I mean, partly yes, but also the I see it from a media perspective of like, oh, let's this person that's still serving time, let's go do a documentary on them about how they killed 10 people and if they feel bad about it or not. And hey, let's show the human side of them. Hey, they're not really this bad person because they went into 3 different homes in Midwest Illinois. And
does anybody make a documentary that tries to like humanize?
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes, they do it all the time.
I don't watch these things. So you're saying if they had like a number, like incarceration number, like 885-944-8832.
Yeah, and you're not, and you are literally like, media wise and in other respects, you're not allowed to refer to them as who they were before.
But that doesn't, and you're not you want to make it a rule that you can't.
Yeah, like they have a legal code, and that's all they are.
I see. That would make okay. All right,
and all the notoriety of being a criminal, but
up to the point of trial, I mean, people are going to refer to them by their name.
Yeah, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, so we can't start calling you your code name until you've been sentenced.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
But most of the time, documentaries don't come out about people that are still awaiting sentencing, unless the judicial system is really screwed up.
Or, I mean, you might have some independent things come out for like here's the facts so far or something, right?
Yeah.
But no, yeah,
I can't stand these documentaries of like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff, and it's like, or Ted Bundy, and then you got like preteen to young adult girls are like, wow, he's actually pretty cute. I wouldn't mind if he kidnapped me.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's crazy, and it's all because of the way the media presents it. These monsters are monsters, and they should be thought of as nothing more than monsters. And in order to do that, we need to start stripping away their humanity. And the first ways that I could think of is take away their government name.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. I would want to know. I'd want to lay out a little bit more rules on that.
Yeah, that's the baseline. Is like, okay, I'm sure you could flesh out what all it means legally, but just hey, you did something bad. You're not that person anymore.
Well, I certainly don't think that.
You got to earn the right to be called that again.
Maybe there needs to be certain subclassifications. I mean, if somebody, gets hit with, I don't know, some sort of smaller felony charge.
Yeah, it might need to not be necessarily an overarching umbrella of any felony, but maybe like violent felony crimes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You get somebody that's doing like, I don't know, embezzlement or something at their company, right? And they've embezzled
insider trading. You're a number.
Trading.
You're a number now.
Yeah. So, okay, interesting. Are we going to talk about your shirt?
Oh, yeah. Probably.
It's an interesting shirt.
Probably should have lost my name after this incident.
So Michael comes in today. I'm like, oh, what's up with that shirt? And he goes, oh, it's a GNC shirt. And I said, oh, so you went into GNC and bought a shirt? And he goes, no, I did not. This is somebody else's shirt. And then I asked for the story, and this was the story.
I was at Auburn. I went to a frat party. I had a little bit too much to drink, and I threw up on my clothes, and they gave me this shirt, and they got rid of my clothes. I guess they gave me pants too, but I don't remember what pair of pants they gave me.
That's
good times.
That's what you call a souvenir from a night to remember.
Yeah, a night that I don't remember. But it's a nice shirt. It really is. I like it.
Yeah. It looks like
Kind of worth it.
Yeah. It's nice material.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything else? I know you said you had a couple of things. Was it mostly the
I had another story that happened from this past week.
Oh.
Yeah.
We do love a good story.
So I gotta protect the innocents here. And I'm not gonna mention names, but I was for work, I was covering a story, and that story was taking place at a local eating establishment around here that I think you like to frequent, and I go there on occasion as well. They got multiple.
Waffle House.
They got multiple locations. They got one where we're at, close by, and then they got one in the town that I live in too.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And so I go in there, and I showed up an hour and 15 minutes earlier than I was supposed to.
No, I mean just get some food, right?
So yeah, I got some food. So I got my food and I ate it, and then after I ate my food, I need to go to the bathroom. Nothing, extensive. Nothing, too bad. It was just quick. Number one, numero uno, trip to the bathroom.
Okay.
Use the bathroom, and then the toilet's not working. The flusher's broken. So I'm like, okay, I can fix this. Take the lid off of the toilet, and I'm about to set it down when it slips out of my hand because it's wet. And the sound of the porcelain breaking against the ground was that of a cannon going off.
Deafening.
It was so loud. And I should have started this by saying before I even ate my food and I was ordering, I asked for a cup of ranch. And the lady taking my order was very nice, but the owner of the restaurant looks over at me and he interjects and he says, "They ain't free, 75 cents. That's fine, I'll pay it. And we both just kind of locked eyes and stared at each other like, that's weird. Because I was wearing a work shirt, and he's not fond of my place of work.
Oh, he's not.
So that happened beforehand anyway. Now, back to the toilet. So all the employees rush in. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Is everything fine? I'm like, yeah, no, it's fine. I was just trying to fix the toilet, and this thing slipped out, and the porcelain broke, and shards flew everywhere. I'm fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I was just trying to help. And they're all worried about me, but he is standing behind them, and he's not asking those questions. He's staring at the toilet. And so then after the employees kind of disperse, it's just me and him, and I'm just looking at him like, I'm sorry, man, I didn't. And he interjects again, and he says, "You just gonna stand there?"
Oh, well, there.
And I said, "No, I can get out of the way." And I did, and he hastily put it back together, and I said, "Is there anything else I can do?" And he said, "Nope, you've done enough." And I left.
Oh, you just said no work meeting?
No. I mean, I left the scene, and they were having it kind of like in a separate part of the building, so I didn't have to see anybody again.
Yeah.
But I went in there again recently, and he was there again.
How long ago was this?
This was a week and a half ago.
Okay. God,
it might have been the day that we recorded or it was the day after. It was either the day
I feel like
we
that would have been
recorded or
fresh
the
on
day
your mind.
after.
That probably would have been fresh on your mind.
Might have been the day. I think it might have been the day after.
So there was nothing came to your mind. It's like, ugh, that's more than 75 cents, huh? Like nothing.
No, I wasn't. No. I was just like, my ears are still ringing because of how loud it was. I mean, it was a major.
I can
major
rant.
Sound.
I'll rant about public like commercial restrooms having residential toiletries. That's a little frustrating. Like spring for the industrial use toilets. Like you're running a restaurant.
I guess what I should have done is left my pee in the toilet, went and told an employee, hey, I can't flush the toilet. And that had been the end of it. But I've seen a flusher not work before and been able to fix it by taking the
I have full
the hood
confidence
off.
in you that you could do that. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't get an opportunity to even do that because the hood slipped out of my hands.
I tell you what would have been
and
worse.
that took my focus then.
Ooh, if that had been a number 2, that would have been rough.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been
Yeah,
rough.
Yeah, real bad. But thankfully it wasn't.
So it just slipped because it was. Did you like wash your hands first?
No, I hadn't washed my hands yet.
It was
I was
just-
going to do it and then wash my hands after.
Yeah,
But it was just kind of, I guess it was already wet on the top and the bottom. I don't know.
Dang, man, that's rough. I'm surprised you went back
I
there.
mean, porcelain's already slick.
Well, I would, if I were you, I'd be getting everything to go.
No, I went back in there again, he was there again, and I looked at him, and he just stared at me the whole time I was in there, and I got my food. Look, I don't know if that toilet, I don't know what it's going to cost if he's going to repair it. I didn't go in the bathroom to find out.
Yeah,
But I am a paying customer. I'll give you more money for food. It's good food.
wow. I don't know if I could go back. Not after something like that. I like if I'm gonna get stuck out in somebody's mind, I would want it to be a good thing. If it's a bad thing, I'm gonna let the heat die down. I'm waiting until I'm off. I'm down to like 1 star before I go back in there. That's like, where it's just a faded memory. It was like, oh, was it that guy? Was that the guy that did that?
You go in there with like a costume on.
Yeah. Or probably what I do is I would immediately cut my hair and shave all my facial hair off, so I don't even look
Disguise.
anything like the person.
Just
Kind of
to
like
get some
how
food.
kind of like how it used to look in our logo.
Yeah.
When we first started recording, and and I made the logo. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, I feel bad for you, but I do know that guy. That guy's kind of a, I don't know how to put it. He's just very matter of fact and not the most polite person.
Yeah. I've heard some stories, and I know the reason that he doesn't like where I work. They had a falling out with some salespeople.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, I mean, as often happens with sales, as somebody that's been in sales, like most of the time when things are, when you have a falling out, it's typically because the expectation was set higher than it should have been. So I don't know that, I don't blame the salespeople most of the time. But no, that's unfortunate. I'm surprised you. I'm coming back to that. The fact that you just went back in, you're like,
it's funny. We
there's
went back
100
like
places
we
to
went
eat
back a
around
week
there.
later, and they like I was going with 2 coworkers, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to go?" Because the second I did it, like the second I got back to the office, I told everybody that I broke a toilet, and of course everybody assumed at work.
that's
that,
the joke. That's a funny joke. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody assumed it was because of that. But like they're like, once they knew what happened, they're like, "Are you sure you want to go back?" And I'm like, "I don't care."
You're just gonna stand there.
Like, I said I won't go into the bathroom, but I'll go get food. I don't care.
Dang, man. Oh, that's pretty funny. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I can compare. I don't know if I have a story. I don't even think I don't have a story that I can compare to your shirt story or that story to like to throw back at the end of this episode.
Hey, it's just I've lived I'm like the Dos Equis light. I'm not the most interesting man in the world, but I am an interesting man in the world.
Yeah, yeah. You're a different kind of interesting. That's funny. Yeah, I imagine. I imagine your coworkers are not going to let that one go anytime soon.
Oh, there's one that ever since I said that, every time he sees me, he calls me. What does he call me? Toilet smasher.
Toilet
I
Smasher.
think that's what he calls me.
That's pretty
He's
funny.
called me that every time I've seen him since
Out of
then.
context, that sounds bad. But I mean, that's an apt, like somebody that lived with you for a while.
It's accurate.
Yeah, that's you do like your double entendres. What's I don't know. What's it? Do you follow summer football?
Huh?
Isn't there summer football? The XFL.
I think it just ended.
Is it?
But I
just
thought you were talking about
over?
the World Cup. I thought you were talking about football.
No. What? Ugh.
That's what I've been following.
Oh,
I have World Cup fever right now.
Have you seen all the people coming to America? They're like, oh my gosh, America's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. They're infatuated with Buc-ee's. They're like, only America could turn a gas station into like an iconic place to visit.
So the funny thing is like, this is what, I mean, it's very similar to how during the Cold War, like all this propaganda against America in the Soviet Union was like that this place is terrible, and it's kind of how Europe's been viewing us for a while. They're coming over here and they're like, "This is awesome, free refills. What is this?"
Yeah,
and then the food portion sizes.
People from the UK are like, I can speak freely.
Right? Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. It's. I mean, everybody wants to act like the World Cup. Oh, maybe not everybody, but I know people that act like the World Cup coming here is a bad thing. Like, how is it a bad thing? It's tons and tons of like tourism for economy for those places that are getting a lot of visitors, and those visitors are trickling and spreading throughout all of the U.S. They're not just all staying centrally in those 11 host cities. They're going all throughout the U.S. and traveling. Some of them were getting here pre-World Cup and visiting, places like Auburn, because Auburn had a big game, and you can see a lot of different people posting on social media from different countries that are visiting for the World Cup, talking about how awesome their trip's been, how friendly the people are, and it's not just for a specific region. That's being communicated for people that are visiting in the South, in the North, on the East Coast, on the West Coast. It's just generally good vibes everywhere.
Do you think they're trying to incentivize some European folks to get over here?
I don't know.
Like if we put our tinfoil hats on and look at like a new world order, do you think they're trying to get like Europeans to move to America?
There's probably already reasons that Europeans want to move to America beyond just visiting for a World Cup.
I love watching some of the guys go. They're like going into Walmart and they're like, "This is amazing. I can buy, buy a full rotisserie chicken for like $4, and at the same time, I can also buy an air rifle." They're like, "This is crazy. We're not even allowed to have knives."
And meanwhile, while all these for one, soccer hooligans have a terrible reputation.
Wow, what a bunch of hooligans.
Soccer hooligans, real bad reputations around the world for how violent how raucous they can be. And I'm sure there's some that have come over, but they haven't been causing any problems. The biggest problem was probably Scotland drinking Boston out of all its beer.
That happened?
Yeah, all the Scotland fans caused all the Boston bars to be completely dry.
That's amazing. That's a funny.
They completely drunk them out of all their bars.
Which
stock.
I'm sure the bars didn't care because it's just good revenue.
They paid for it. They weren't stealing it. But there's been no issues. Meanwhile, just a couple weeks ago before the World Cup started, you had the conclusion of the NBA Finals between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. New York Knicks won their first title in over 50 years. And after every game in New York, they trashed the place. New York people in their own city trashing their own city because they won. But everybody's worried about these crazy soccer fans, illegal soccer fans coming over.
I haven't heard anybody worried about the crazy soccer fans.
Oh, I've seen it. Crazy, and it depends upon what country they're coming from.
So tell me, because
some countries it's okay. We're not worried about you guys from Germany coming over.
It was there. I heard somebody tell me that, or I saw somewhere that there was a possibility, and I don't know if the bracket's still the same, but that England and America might be playing each other on the 250th anniversary.
Unfortunately, in the first place, that was completely fabricated because it was never possible to begin with.
Really?
It was just a fun story. But also, it was possible for the U.S. to potentially play on July the 4th, but that didn't end up happening. The U.S. will play earlier than that on Wednesday, and then if they win that game, they'll play on July the 6th.
Is it possible, like, could they just do like a scrimmage match or something? Like, is it?
No.
Could they?
At this point, you're in the knockouts, so it's just play your game, hope you survive in advance, and then rest up for the next one.
Okay. No, it's really it's been pretty cool to see kind of a lot of other countries come over here and appreciate what we have in America. Meanwhile, we have so many people in America that think that we're just like, this is like the worst country ever. It's because they don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we live truly and honestly, we live like kings. I mean, in kings 300 years ago, I mean, they didn't even have the luxury of indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
You know, we walk into our bathrooms and we turn a knob and water comes out.
Yeah.
We don't even appreciate that anymore. I mean,
yeah,
that's
there's
crazy.
tons and tons of fans that are absolutely, but even players. I mean, I've seen it before. So for the not the World Cup, but for the Gold Cup, which is where all the North American, Caribbean, and Central American teams play in a tournament, Cuba regularly qualifies for that. Okay. And most of the time, when a Cuban team comes over, they defect and refuse to go back to Cuba. Like it's almost it's not the full team that does it, but it's almost guaranteed that players from the team will do that.
Oh,
it's almost a guarantee there will be at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's one thing comparing us to Europe. It's another thing entirely trying to compare us to Cuba.
And then so nine African teams qualified for the knockout stages of this World Cup, and most of them are from countries that aren't. I'm not going to say they're all in bad shape. Like Morocco's all right. Algeria's got good parts of it. But you talk about like Cabo Verde. You talk about like Ghana. There's a lot of countries that are in definitely more impoverished states. They're just happy to survive in advance because it means they get to spend more time over here, whether they win or not. Whether they win the whole thing or not is almost secondary to like, hey, if we can stay in the tournament, we get to spend more time in the U.S. or whatever other country's hosting it that's typically better off than their country, but especially the U.S. I mean, you look back at the prior host to the U.S., 2022 Qatar. Sure, advanced in some ways, but very small and very. Right. It was tough for the hosts to actually be hosts in that form of the World Cup compared to the amount of space the U.S., Mexico, and Canada have. Russia in 2018 was thought of somewhat poorly based on their facilities and where they would house teams. Not very clean conditions. Brazil had the same issue in 2014, as did South Africa in 2010. You'd have to go back to 2006 Germany, which was the last time a World Cup was actually hosted in an area that had their I's dotted and their T's crossed in all facets until this World Cup, I think, in my opinion. I think the U.S. and Mexico and Canada have all done fantastically.
Okay.
And thankfully, Mexico didn't send anybody well, actually, they did. Mexico housed Iran in Tijuana.
Oh, really?
And Iran has complained about it the entire time until they got eliminated from the World Cup. Of all the places you might get your house base camp, Tijuana is probably the last one. Maybe Juarez.
Well,
Juarez might be worse.
I saw that they had the Iranian team play, and then they immediately had to leave the country. Like, they immediately had to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Just because, obviously tensions are still there.
Yeah.
But I'm just really, I think it puts it into perspective how great of a country we've got here. People always ask me, don't you want to travel the world? I said, no, I want to travel America.
I want to do both. There are definitely places around the world I want to travel to, but they're getting less and less interesting because of their migrant problems. Like, I look at videos of people going to Paris, which was a place I always wanted to go, and now I don't know if I want to go anymore because you can't even just as a laid back vacation experience go up to the Eiffel Tower and look at it without getting harassed and potentially have something really bad happen to you by one of their street dwellers trying to sell you a counterfeit Eiffel Tower knockoff.
Right.
I mean, we've seen the Tyler Oliveira videos.
Yeah.
He might be a little more antagonistic than the general person, but I guarantee you it happens to them as well.
Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the EU right now. There's no doubt. We'll see how that progresses over the next 10 years. But no, I think you're right. I think destination countries are just becoming less and less appealing, while our we don't have people playing ball and cup games in front of the Grand Canyon over here. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
Let's go. But unfortunately, there are some places that in the U.S. are getting that stigma too. Like, I don't want to go to Seattle. I don't want to go to San Francisco. Not right now. Not really.
New York.
Not right now.
Being honest,
yeah.
I went there last year. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't recommend going if you're not accompanied by a male.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, in all honesty. So,
even if you're another male.
Yeah. Oh, I would want to go with at least two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll have to just see how all this unfolds. There's a lot of interesting developments going on in the world economy and the geopolitics. But Cusswords will be here to keep you in the loop, no doubt, because Michael's perspective just is valuable on all of it.
It's a perspective. I don't know how valuable it is.
But I guess we're we're good here.
Yeah, I gotta edit.
Yeah, you gotta.
And now I gotta bleep a cuss word.
That's
on the
me.
Cusswords podcast. I gotta do it.
Wow, what a bunch of hooligans.
Well, thank you for joining us. I believe this is an episode with an episode number.
Do you know what the episode number is?
No, I had no idea.
I think it's 36.
36. Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. But thank you for
this will drive up the viewership count if I show some cleavage.
There you go. Thanks for joining us on this episode.
Yeah.
Till next time.
You know it's Cusswords. We had a plan for this episode. I think. We did not follow it. All right. See y'all next week.